Well, the anthem is out the way. It's time to play. It's Final Four day. And with that, we'll hand over to our commentary team of George Perrott and Anthony Russell.
Thank you very much, Ben. What a pleasure to be here today, Anthony. Certainly the highlight of my year. I don't know about you.
Oh, this is the great crescendo that is British hockey. It's been a bit of a turbulent year for a bunch of different reasons for the sport in this country that we don't need to go into here. It's a weekend, it's a celebration. The Elite League had their turn last weekend. The NIHL comes to a conclusion in grand style here in Coventry.
On the subject of turbulence,
yes.
Can you tell us, give us a summary of the kind of season that Swindon have had and why it really means so much for them to be here today?
Well, aside from the fact that it's the first time in 10 years, I can see the spot where the overtime penalty was called on them in the 2014 semi-final, and they have not been back to Coventry since that point. The week of the opening day of the regular season, flooding in Swindon, the Link Centre shut for months on end. Swindon didn't play a home game in Swindon until December 16th, if I remember correctly. A lot of hockey in a short space of time, but what a response from the organisation and the community. The Wildcats back at the dance for the first time in a decade, and deservedly so. They've been fantastic to watch all year.
A season of adversity for Swindon, certainly. But while we're on the theme of fairy tale storylines, we also have, of course, a couple of hockey players on the Swindon side and one on the Leeds side,
yes,
who may well be playing their very last game of senior hockey today,
indeed,
or tomorrow.
Well, indeed, between James Archer for the Knights and Russ Cowley, whose banner we can see at eye level almost from where we're sitting, and Stevie Whitfield, a one-club man for the Swindon Wildcats. These three gentlemen, they have said that their careers end at the end of the season, but somebody's will end before sort of 4 o'clock this afternoon. Who's it going to be?
So we have Leeds in the blue jerseys. They are today's home team, shooting from the left to right, and Swindon, third place in the league this year, in their red jerseys, shooting from right to left. And that man Cowley is out for the opening draw. The puck has dropped and we're away. Baldwin on Leeds defence, over to McMullen, who chips it off the boards, and Leeds look to get in quickly on the forecheck with Howlett. Howlett turns the Swindon D-man around, and now Baldwin comes in to try and seal it off, but Swindon have managed to get the puck away. This is McMullen turning. He's been dispossessed though by Lebuele. This is Lebuele, backhands it to Pacalzi. Put it out in front for Cowley, but it was just out of his reach. Now here come Leeds with Brown. Brown drops to Howlett. Howlett onto the backhand, but he was intercepted effectively there by Bebris. Bebris now picks up the loose puck, looks up ice, decides to flip one forward for Pacozzi to chase. Pacozzi in the corner, good body position there to shrug Neely away, but Leeds defence are in close support, so they come away with the puck. This is Neely coming through the middle, up to Witkowski. Witkowski backhands one down into the Swindon zone. And here comes Malasinski for Swindon, but that was broken up by Leeds. It's now back down behind the Swindon net, and some good work here by Leeds to hold the puck up, and they have managed to bring it loose now. Choose to backhand it back into the corner where Hayward is battling two Swindon defenders, and now it's out in front for Witkowski, but his shot was blocked. Swindon ring it round looking to clear the zone, but it's cut out by Dylan Hare, and Leeds just enjoying a little spell of dominance here as they put one out in front. That was for Buesa, intercepted by Swindon. Away they come with Nell now. Nell flips one inside, and that'll be a soft gather for Gospel.
What a frantic start to that period it was. We talked about how the high octane offences, well, both had an opportunity. Leeds starting to put a little bit of early pressure on there. There's a deflection on that shot as well that came towards Rennie Murray. He was almost wrong-footed as the puck went towards the net. Fortunately, it went wide for him, so he didn't have to do too much about it. But what a great start. Just what we want out of this weekend. We don't want tense, we don't want nervous, we want to see something happen, and these two sides are definitely going to do it by the looks of it.
So Leeds come away with it from the draw, but Swindon managed to cut it off at the line, and as players taking a spill here as Bullas, good heavy work with the body there from Bullas to shrug off the Leeds defender. And now Colby Tower, the import, holds it up in the corner for Swindon, but slight mishandle by Luke Johnson on the Swindon defence. Just puts their side under a little bit of pressure, but Leeds have dumped it in, and Tower now should have a bit of time and room for Swindon to come up ice. Now, is this the young Swindon defenceman Jamie Smith we see out?
Yes, indeed.
An exciting young player we're looking forward to seeing here today. Pacozzi just manages to jab it back down for Smith. Smith goes D to D, and Lubuele up at centre just taps one forward for Picozzi to get in on the forecheck. It slipped past Cowley though, and now Leeds coming up with speed. Brown onto the backhand, puts it inside. Save! No, they've scored! It's McMullen has broken the seal on this game.
Just what Swindon didn't need was an early goal against them, and that bit of pressure from Leeds has told immediately. There's a great hit by Picozzi down the other end, but what's ended up happening is we can see here Picozzi, fantastic finish on the hit there, but it's opened up a little bit of space and Leeds have immediately broken. It's that man Kieran Brown drives the net there, puts the backhand no look pass to Witkowski, it bobbles in front, and Noah McMullen's pinched down from defence and has managed to chip it in. They don't always have to be pretty if they go in. Fantastic bit of play there for the Knights, and they lead early on, which is not what Swindon wanted.
So it is the Knights who take the initiative in this one. As we discussed earlier, we said, early goals could lead to a back and forth open game. So will we see a repeat of that 9-7 encounter that we had earlier in the season? Swindon now obviously have got to up their level to respond. Now it's been chipped out of the Swindon zone, and first there is Brown who gets it inside. This is Howlett looking to shoot. That was blocked by Glenn Billing for Swindon. Now Bo Neely backhands one towards the Swindon net, but Swindon defence are first there, and the Wildcats will come away with Billing. Billing has got Malasinski with him. Malasinski, fairly soft shot there from the far wing, sealed off by the Swindon defence, and back down for Malasinski. Malasinski and Tower go to work down low. Tower turning, and again looking for an opening. He's found someone up at the point here, and a long wrist shot into traffic has gone out of play, I think, but you could see there, I think Aaron Nell causing all kinds of problems at the Leeds net. Yeah, it was,
Tyler Blues has put on net there. He's managed to hold his ground to stop the sort of the on-rushing forward trying to push it out of play, but managed to stand his ground and put it on net. But yeah, Sam Gospel managing to hold firm for now.
So Swindon looking to answer, and Jones won the draw, and they got it up to the high slot for Tower, but Leeds have broken this, and Leeds are dangerous on the break here. Witkowski with a low feed to the net. That was padded away by Marr. Now Godfrey for Swindon, up to centre. They choose to tap one in. Tower coming in on the forecheck, but Leeds will be able to bring it out. That one was blocked by Jones. And now, big hit there by Colby Tower. Tower and Buessa getting tangled up. The puck comes loose to Swindon defence, and a quick pass up to centre. Tapped in, Swindon take the change. This is Bo Neely for Leeds. Pass up to Innes Gallagher. Exciting young, one of many exciting young players on this Leeds team. Endicott goes in on the forecheck. And Gallagher now battling Cowley, and the veteran gets the better of that and manages to clear the zone. Leeds regrouping with Baldwin. Oh, big hit there, and that was that's the junior Jamie Smith. I do remember you told me that he can put the body about, and he certainly did it there.
He did. Innes Gallagher given a front row seat to what was going on there. The one thing I do know is that in the arena they've announced that goal is going to Matt Barron, which I'm not 100% sure about myself, but somebody far better than us. Somebody far better than us. Somebody far better than us probably saw that, but there we are. But great hit by Smith. It's a good physical tone as well to set when you're a goal down, letting Leeds know that they're not going to be able to run roughshod over you.
Swindon's top line out now of Malasinski, Billing and Nell. The shot was blocked, so Bebris will come back, collect. Bebris, long pass up to centre to Billing. Billing takes a look. Oh, good defensive play there by the Leeds defender to get down on one knee and close off the shooting lane. Unfortunately, they've iced the puck. That was Baldwin.
It's Baldwin, and John Griffin there taking that shot from Bebris in a region that's clearly hurt. He's wincing in quite a bit of pain there on the bench. But again, we talked about that defensive element to Leeds' game that doesn't always quite get the amount of appreciation that it does. And those guys have stepped up in the moment to do what needed to be done.
They're a hard team to get shots against by account of the stats, and we've certainly seen a bit of that today. Swindon perhaps not yet to actually really test Gospel.
No, haven't been able to quite establish what they're wanting to do here. And like you say, yeah, people do not seem to get shots, and when they do get shots through, they've got to get him past Sam Gospel, who's got one of the best save percentages in the entire national division. So you're sometimes on a bit of a hiding to nothing, but no team is perfect. But can Swindon find a way to make that happen for themselves? They haven't yet.
So Swindon changed sides over here and now pressuring, but it's up to Howlett. Howlett backhands one into the Swindon zone. Bebris, a good hit there by Howlett to bump Billing off the puck. And now Howlett has managed to recover that one. Tried to put it back down low, but it hit referee Anderson. And a long, narrow net drive is wide. Neely knocks one wide. It's over to the point from McMullen. Swindon now looking to break, but over here taking a change was now. Billing's pass for Malasinski was slightly off the mark, but they do manage to work it behind the net to Billing, and Billing just popped one out in front that was just out of the reach of the Swindon player. Hayward now. Oh, great shot over there from Bo Neely. Good save, Marr. Jones for Swindon. Backhands, Reed Sayers clears the zone, and with space, here's Colby Tower looking for a man inside, turns inside, save Gospel, and the rebound. That was, I think, Whitfield with a perfect chance there. Now Tower shooting, and another great shot block. That was Dylan Hare with a fantastic shot block, and we've seen a few good shot blocks from Leeds here, and no wonder they're so hard to generate shots against.
Yeah, and even when they have just let up a shot there, it's Swindon have immediately got the puck back, but again just could not find a way through. Although Stevie Whitfield manages to score this weekend, the roof is going to blow off of this building from that Wildcats section alone. Not a frequent goal scorer,
no,
Stevie Whitfield,
but a recent goal scorer.
But a very recent goal,
yeah.
yes, a very recent goal scorer. Scored in his last game at the Link Centre last weekend in that 6-1 win over the Telford Tigers. Both teams, of course, ending up progressing to this weekend, so I'm sure Tommy Watkins will forgive him for that one, if nothing else.
So face-off will be in the Swindon zone. And face-off is control is taken by Swindon, and they manage to swing the puck all the way clear. No icing on this call. A little bit of hesitation. Leeds have got space to regroup. Gallagher across to Perry. Oh, Pacolzi, good job to strip the puck from Perry and gets it over to Luele, but it was on Luele's backhand. And now out in front for Cowley with the one-time slap shot that unfortunately was central to Gospel's position. He's not going to let that in.
No, definitely not from that distance, but a great bit of work there by Swindon. Balin Pacolzi not giving up on a play, picks the pocket of Bailey Perry and just making some things happen there. But again, great bit of defensive positioning from Jordan Griffin, looking at where the play was likely to come to the hard shot of Luele, who scores a lot of goals from that sort of hash mark region, stick in the way, unable to get good contact as a result.
Now, that one took a strange bounce off the boards, which prevented Brown from getting hold of the puck for Leeds. That's given Swindon a little chance to come back with Bebris. It's up at centre now with Lebuele. Lebuele inside to Bebris, and a good bit of stick work there. Some effective back checking from Brown, and now Brown moves forward with speed. He finds Howlett. Howlett cuts across the face of the defenders, and he beats Marr for the second. Leeds coming forward with speed, and it was all built off a strong back check effort and a good stick.
The second time this game that Swindon have made a bit of an offensive move, and it's come the other way. Matt Howlett, burst of speed, cuts across the middle, shoots back across himself. Rennie Miles got a piece of that with his glove. But with just over 8 minutes gone, it's 2-0 Leeds, and there's got to be that Swindon need to have some sort of a response here. This is definitely not the start they wanted, but Leeds clinical. This is what happens when you're champions.
So we have got just under 12 minutes left to play and of this first period, and we've already got Leeds in a fairly comfortable position on the scoreboard. Here's Malasinski. Can he do anything about that? An angled shot, which is gathered up high by Gospel, and the face-off will be down in the Leeds zone. A little bit of pushing and shoving here. Lebuele with one of the Leeds defenders.
I think it's actually Aaron Nell.
It is Aaron Nell, yeah.
Slightly unusual position for Nell to be not normally involved in such occasions, but on a day like this, emotions and adrenaline will be running high. But got a little too close to Sam Gospel for the liking of one of the Leeds defensemen there.
So Hayward wins the draw against Billing, and Leeds managed to clear the zone. Whitfield tries to get one back in, and Swindon have managed to stay onside, but they couldn't quite carry over. So Godfrey, D to Whitfield. Whitfield up to Billing, takes the pass off his skates, looks inside for a bit of support, and then takes a long shot, which was spilled by Gospel, and then a backhand effort. Now it's up with Godfrey. Godfrey looking, he drive it into traffic, and it was a save by Gospel. Whitfield now trying to hold it in. Now it's up at centre, loose for Buesa, and he's got Witkowski over here. Oh, he's popped the bottle on Rennie Marr, and it's 3-0 Leeds. No mistake by Witkowski. Absolutely clinical finish.
3 goals and the same scenario. Swindon attack and they're caught on the break again. Here's the play, almost a 3-on-2. Witkowski has sent that bottle out of Coventry and almost all the way to Birmingham with that shot. What a goal. And a timeout rightly called by the Wildcats. They need to get their heads back on, try and recoup and recover. There's a long time left in this game, but what a hammer blow. Just how clinical from Leeds.
Leeds are just so dangerous coming forward, aren't they? They appear to have that edge in speed, and yeah, well, they have really stunned Swindon here, I feel.
They have as well, and it's 3 times as well where they've done exactly the same trick. Swindon caught on the offence, pushing high, and then blocking a shot, getting a stick in the lane, and just exploiting the space. Rennie Marr can only do so much. I don't think there's many keepers in this country that would have been able to stop that shot from Witkowski.
So a strong early lead here for the league-winning League Knights. We've just got 11 minutes. We've only had, under 9 minutes played. And the game has not been that one-sided, but it just has been a question of the danger that Leeds have on the break.
Very much so. It's that shock and awe factor.
We have a call here. And the Swindon fans are not going to like this, because Colby Tower is going to the bench for an indiscretion which I have to say I didn't spot.
It's called high stick.
Okay.
Well, I did not necessarily see a high stick myself. The first beach ball of the day.
So, 2 teams, both with very, very effective power plays, but it's Leeds' power play that, as I noticed, over 40% in the qualifiers that gets the first chance.
Yeah, against a pretty effective penalty kill that Swindon have as well. Third in the league. Although Russ Cowley fanning on that one, maybe not great evidence thereof, such is life, but out of the zone it goes.
So Bo Neely to Kieran Brown, back to Neely. Neely carries over. He's got Howlett for the drop, but he opts to ring it right round. It's up but with a point with Bo Neely. Good shot block there by Lebuele, and that managed to clear the zone. Lebuele chasing, but they get it up to the wing for Kieran Brown. Brown knocks one behind the Swindon net. Now Howlett, beg your pardon. Up to Brown, back to Howlett. Room to look for a shot, but he opts to go to Neely. Inside, and that was nearly kicked in, I think, by Endicott. Now it's out in front, and they've got another. It's Kieran Brown, and this game is rapidly running away from the Wildcats.
Well, you knew he was going to score at some stage this weekend. You'd have bet your house on it. You can just see the movement there. There's a little bit of a dribble out in front. Just sort of rebounds back, but the pass is able to be squirted out from behind the net back to Kieran Brown. And well, you'd have bet your beer money on him potentially on scoring from that sort of distance. As you say, less than 10 minutes gone. It is 4-0 Leeds. What can Swindon do at this point? You've got to have some sort of a response. They need a goal desperately, if only for the sake of their dignity at this point.
Still 50 minutes of hockey to play. Could be a very long 50 minutes for the Wildcats, but also an awful lot can happen in 2.5 periods of hockey. Leeds fans behind their goal. Got the flashing sticks going. Now for Swindon out front with a one-timer that just went over Gospel's net. Swindon tried to get it back down deep, but now the stretch pass for Witkowski was dangerous looking, but Malasinski's cut it out. Malasinski turning on the puck, gets it across to Whitfield. Leeds have broken this up now, and they chip it out of the zone. Whitfield goes back to collect, and the whistle is blown for icing, so the puck is coming right back down to the Leeds zone. Yeah, and I was going to say the Swindon fans down on our side to the left looking a little subdued.
Yeah, quite understandably so. I don't know about you, but when Leeds broke up that play and the puck started coming back down the ice, there was a massive amount of space and it started looking horribly familiar of what's happened the last 10 minutes, and I was a little bit concerned for Swindon there, but on this occasion nobody getting the touch. Mr. Olschak calling us back for icing as a result.
So Bullas wins the draw for Swindon, but it clears the zone. It's Jamie Smith on cross ice dumping. Lebuele throws a hit and then knocks Perry to the ice. Swindon regrouping with Smith. Long stretch up. This is Johnson. Johnson looking to shoot, but Endicott got his stick there. Now up at the centre, this is Innes Gallagher going wide on Smith. Smith blocked that one. Now Gallagher puts it back down low. Leeds playing the kids here. Baldwin puts it down into the Swindon zone. Finn Braden holding it up against the Swindon defenders. Now Jones gets a loose one for Swindon. Out to Colby Tower. Colby Tower driving onto the backhand. Turns inside. Delay play. Then thinks twice and goes back into the corner and puts one out in front. That came off the skate of Bullas. Now it's out for Bebris. Bebris into traffic. Oh, it's kicked loose by Swindon. And now out front for Whitfield. Oh, the net's off. It's in.
They called it.
Bullas has finished it. Referee clearly indicating goal. And Swindon have got what they were looking for. That goal that just lifts the spirits a little.
It gives them a little bit of belief, doesn't it? I mean, as you said, with better part of 2.5 periods worth of hockey, but look at this. Traffic all over the place, bodies flying, somebody's checked into the goalpost, but Sam Bullas on the doorstep. A captain's goal at the moment needed. Sam Gospel very, very vehemently saying something to one of the linesmen there in terms of the net being off. But all things considered, the goal, you can call a goal if the puck is heading in that circumstance, and the Swindon player is checked into his goal by the Knights defenseman. There's no referee worth their salt is going to wave that off in that kind of circumstance, unfortunately, for Leeds fans watching. 8 minutes and 9 seconds left in the first, and Swindon have the littlest, briefest window of light now.
It wasn't pretty, but I think they'll take it. So, another Swindon goal would change the dynamic of the game pretty quickly. Now Nell pumps one back into the Leeds zone. Dylan Hare back to collect for Leeds. Dylan Hare fluffed his clearance, but has managed to get it clear. Brown at the red line, chips it into the Swindon zone, but Brown is adjudged not to have been over the red. So we have an icing call, and it's coming back in front of Gospel's net.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a change in the atmosphere now, isn't there? Just you can feel it in the air in the rink a little bit, even at 4-1, because of the nature of this game and the nature of what this weekend kind of means. That anything can happen. I've said it in my article in the programme here. Anything can happen at Coventry. Are we about to see a comeback for the ages?
Now wins that draw for the Wildcats. This is Plews. Plews puts it back into the far corner where Bebris pinches down to find Pakodzi, but Pakodzi's pass was a no-looker and a loose one. A good stick there to break up from Swindon. Now Dylan Hare carries over for Leeds, and his little backhand pass was a clever one inside for Barron, but Barron couldn't handle it. Now Bebris for Swindon will backhand up to Malasinski. Leeds go D to D and dump one in from the wrong side of red. So another icing, and just that you can sense that slight tilt in play towards Swindon now. Leeds ice the puck a few times.
Swindon have changed up their line combinations as well, I think, in an attempt to try and generate some stuff in it as well. There's been one moment of it working, but they do need a couple more.
So Lebuele, Billing and Jones, this forward line out, and it's out in front for Billing, but he missed one, and then another, an open net miss from Jones. Well, Swindon are trying to force goals through this kind of Leeds fortress, and now Lebuele with a clear shot. Great save, Gospel. And Gospel takes his time getting up there as Leeds ice the puck, and Swindon pushing to get back in this game.
The problem, of course, is that we've seen what happened when Swindon push and push and push. But again, another great example there. Guys getting in the way, Bailey Perry getting in the way, Sticks getting in the way. I think Jones was probably a bit more pressured on that shot than he initially thought he was going to be as well. It looks like he's missed an open net, but he had the defenseman on him at the same time.
This is Reed Sayers for Swindon, and one puck out in front was no Swindon player there to capitalise. So Whitfield comes back to collect, and another icing from Leeds.
You just kind of wonder now what Swindon's thinking is at this point. They have, because that's the thing, yes, they're in a hole, but they do have that amount of time. You don't want to rush at this stage. It's not like there's 6 minutes left of the third period. There's 6 minutes left of the first. There's time to get stuff going here.
And they are winning face-offs and creating pressure. Reed Sayers now turning against Perry. Gets it up to the point for Whitfield. Long drive in for Whitfield, safely into the glove of Gospel. Very reminiscent of the goal he did score, which we've already discussed.
Yes, very, very much so, actually. Yeah, if that would have history repeating itself, probably would have gone down very well with the folk to our left. But great work again by the defenseman, pushing the guys there for the tip out of the way. Gospel catching it pretty much sort of full on in front of his face, not having to stretch or anything like that, which is again that bit of defensive positioning that shows why Leeds are so good on the back end.
Oh, quick shot in there from Nell, saved Gospel up to the point. Whitfield pumps it in, and now we've got the net is off.
McMullen has pushed.
There is some disagreement between McMullen and one of the Swindon forwards.
Pacozzi, by the look of it.
So nothing coming of this, other than the net being put back onto its moorings, and a face-off to the right of Gospel's goal.
There's been an upping in the physicality from Swindon in the last few minutes, which has been kind of their response. Yeah. It's not really their natural game, but where they've felt the need to kind of try and get under the skin of Leeds a little bit, and it does appear to be working probably better than Swindon normally do when they try this sort of play.
So Pacozzi out now with Nell and Malasinski. Whitfield and Witkowski chasing down a puck. It's Whitfield that recovers it for Swindon. Rings one out of the zone. That will be collected by McMullen. McMullen plays over to his D partner, and the Knights tap one forward into the Swindon zone. Oh, Godfrey's pass intercepted by Witkowski. Tried to ring it round. Witkowski was there quickly. Now Buessa for Leeds. On the backhand up to the point. McMullen's shot was blocked. Comes over to the near side, where good bit of work here by Pacozzi to dig the puck loose for Swindon to come away. Whitfield now, a little bit of room to look for the pass. He didn't get a great wood on it, but Pacozzi has managed to recover it anyway, as it bobbled off the Knights defender. Now the puck's taken a strange bounce off the gate, and Malasinski had a chance to hold it in. In the end, it's backhanded clear, and the whistle will go for icing. And this is a recurring pattern now. We've had a lot of Leeds icing the puck, and Swindon trying to sort of force and pressure into the Leeds zone.
At what stage though does frustration start to build up for Swindon in this point? Because it's been a lot of the same thing, but also a lot of the same outcome for the most part. Is that Leeds are finding ways to get the pucks either so Gospel can see it or they're able to clear. It's all well and good pushing and pushing and pushing, but you do need to get some sort of output from it.
Chris Jones wins the draw cleanly for the Wildcats. Goes in against his fellow number 11, Hayward, to win that one. And now we see Billing being pinned to the boards by two Leeds players. Witkowski out at centre. Had Hayward streaking ahead of him, but he opted to just flip one in on Marr. Now the face-off will be in the Swindon end, which we've not seen since the power play, I think.
It's taken a little bit of time, hasn't it, to get back down to the end? But yes, we actually get to turn our heads to the right for the first time properly in a little while, and probably a good thing for Leeds as well. There, that shot not really going on net with any real intent, but the opportunity to just get a bit more time in that Swindon zone they've not had for a few minutes.
Just under 5 minutes to play then in this, the first semi-final, this NIHL playoffs. Leeds 4-1 to the good. Anthony, will Swindon be pleased with the way they've responded since going 4 down?
I think they will do, yeah. I think they could have very easily just let their heads sink, but they've actually, rather than just kind of going through the motions here and getting to the end of the period, they've changed things. They've changed the line combinations, kept the same sort of attitude. Like we've said a lot, they do have time, but they haven't just given up on this. They feel that they've got the time and the ability to do it, and that's clearly shown by the effort that's going in here.
So Swindon industriously going to work in the Leeds zone once again. Jones pinned to the boards by Perry. Lebuele there in support. They're trying to dig it out. Jones does manage to get it loose, but it's collected by Leeds. Leeds coming forwards now. Flip one up to centre. That's taken by Brown off his skate. And now Howlett looked to shoot, but then he wheeled round. He found Perry at the point. Perry mishandled it. Leeds do retain the puck though. Brown, nice move. Backhands it back into the corner. But Swindon strong on the puck here to recover. Bebris beaten one man, but that now Barron recovered the puck. Back with Barron for Leeds in the Swindon zone, turning in the corner, feeding up to the point for Griffin. Griffin wrist shot was blocked by Jones. That's collected now by Howlett. Howlett snap one in from an narrow angle. That hit the side netting. Howlett looking at the hash marks. Dropping down. Leeds just effectively maintaining possession here and cycling the puck around. Swindon not yet able to break up this shift. Now up at the point, and Perry is now Colby Tower. He's clean through. He handles. Oh, it's a fantastic save by Gospel.
What a save by Gospel. A massive moment as well.
Tower went backhand, and that's the first time we've seen Swindon get that kind of penetration behind the Leeds defence.
Just didn't get the puck up, unfortunately. You could kind of... not that he telegraphed it, but he's gone to his backhand there, and if you're doing that, you need to put the puck up in the air. You're not going to really find the gap between post and pad that easily. And unfortunately, he just couldn't get it high enough.
Whitfield up to Cowley for Swindon. Cowley, clever play, one hands the puck out in front, and it's finished by Bullis, I think. Wow, that was Ross Cowley made that. Absolutely fantastic, and we're back within two now with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play of this first period.
It's a great bit of work by Russ Cowley in a building where he held in such high regard, gets the puck, flips it out in front, and Bullas again, a fantastic goal again, just taking his opportunity when he needed it to. 4-2. Swindon looked dead and buried less than about sort of 10 minutes ago, and boy is this game turned on its head now.
Now they're back, and it's ironically we were discussing Bullas before, weren't we, and saying he's not a great scorer, he doesn't rack up the numbers, but he's got both of Swindon's here today.
We talked about his intangibles, didn't we, and how much he gives to this side as captain, how talismanic he is. Well,
there's nothing more talismanic than getting 2 goals to get your team back in the game. Meanwhile, Leeds just had a fantastic chance, and it was a very good blocker save by Rennie Marr in the Swindon net. Swindon looking to clear the zone. It can only go as far as Baldwin. Baldwin over to McMullen. McMullen's feed to Buessa was just the wrong side of him. Now Whitfield is having some trouble with Buessa. Buessa fed out in front, and it almost came up to Baldwin at the point. Now Leeds trying to pump the puck towards the Swindon net, but Swindon come away. Malasinski drives wide. He's bodied by Baldwin into the corner, and that allows Leeds to collect. But good bit of stick work by Lebuele to knock that one down
and keep it below the high stick level as well.
Lebuele then rings one in for Jones to apply pressure. Billing cuts the play up for Swindon, knocks it back in. Someone's got it in a glove, and then there's a collision. Bo Neely sent spinning by a Swindon player, and the puck bouncing around now in the high slot. Jones tries to get it towards the Swindon net, but Leeds, as ever, very, very heavy puck pressure in their zone, blocking pucks, filling lanes. They condense, they collapse.
They do.
Very difficult to get through.
They do, and that's like I say, it's been sort of a bit of a hallmark of this game. Even though they've now conceded sort of 2 goals, they're keeping faith in the system, even though they've conceded, which is massive. You don't want to just give up on what's been working for the most part. They are still winning after all.
Now Bebris has swooped down from the point and is now standing in front of the Leeds net. So that's Malasinski just filling in the defensive position. Comes all the way back for Plews and Swindon. Plews turns up ice, feeds up to Malasinski on the boards. He taps one in. Forecheck by Tower, goes in hard and manages to recover the puck. but only briefly, and now Brown gets his legs going, tried to flip one past the Swindon defenceman, who did a fantastic job of holding him up there. Cowley's backhand was too close to the Leeds defence. It breaks down at centre, and then a long shoot in from Swindon, wide of the net, coming straight back at them, and there's Tower threw a hit, and you got a little face wash from one of the Leeds players on the Leeds bench.
He's lined up Dylan Hare there and not made the contact he wanted to as the buzzer sounds for the end of the first. But yeah, if he had connected on that, that would have been a hell of a way to end the period.
So we've had a thrilling period in which it looked at one point like we were going to have a blowout, but I'm fairly confident that's not the case. We do have a hockey game here, don't we, Anthony?
We definitely have a hockey game here now, and I said we were looking for high-octane offence. We've definitely got it. 6 goals in the first 20 minutes of the Coventry weekend. Hopefully that's going to set the tone for the rest of the time. You and I are going to be very, very busy if that's the case.
And I said it was going to be low scoring. Serves me right for making predictions.
Well, plenty of action in that first period. 6 goals to boot. There's more to come. You can join us for all the action after this short break. Welcome back to Planet Ice Skydome Arena here in Coventry. An interesting first period. The score currently stands at Leeds Knights 4, Swindon Wildcats 2. By no means the Cats are not out of this. A lot of hockey still to play. Guys, what do you think the second period holds for us?
Wow, I mean, Swindon pushing back. They're 2 goals down. They finished the period well. I think they'll be pleased with the way that they played after being 4 down within the first 10 minutes. So next goal, isn't it? If Swindon get the next goal, we're right back in business with a close game.
4-3 would be a massive mental edge as well for Swindon, knowing that they've got that bit of momentum going. Seriously, there was a point where you and I were saying that we thought Swindon could have been dead and buried about the halfway mark of the first period. That response, that bit of character that you kind of expect in a team that had to really, that's gone through the ringer a bit this year for a bunch of different reasons, has meant that they've kept themselves in it. Sam Bullas, of course, the captain, stepping up massively when they needed him to step up, and where maybe some of those top-end defensive talents for Swindon haven't had the opportunity to get into the game, the depth of man have pulled them back into it, kicking and screaming.
And as we all know in sports, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So 40 minutes more of this absolutely thrilling NIHL semi-final to play. Swindon controlling off the draw with Billing behind the Leeds net, over to Lebuele, up to the point for Beveris. Beveris puts it back down for Jones to chase. Jones has got Plews up on the point, but he decides to turn back inside for Lebuele. Came off Lebuele's skate though, and Leeds, who have been so dangerous and clinical on the break. Nice hit there by Brown, and knocked Lebuele off the puck. To knock the puck loose. Leeds come forward with speed and purpose, don't they?
They do indeed. There was just catching there. Just I wonder whether the linesman was going to call offside there, and he did. But yeah, that's the devastating thing about it, and certainly that was the thing in the first period as well. That bit of space that they just exploited in a massive, massive way. The bigger ice as well, because neither of these teams play on huge pads. Swindon's is slightly bigger than Leeds, but that extra bit of space to skate into when you have got a Mac Howlett, a Kieran Brown, a Jordan Boesa, speed kills is a massive, something that we hear a lot in a bunch of different adverts. Very true in ice hockey as well. So
a real dilemma for Swindon, who obviously have to force the issue, but without being caught the way they were in that first 10 minutes. They're doing well at the moment to hold the puck in the Leeds zone. This is Pakodzi. Pakodzi turns back inside, but Leeds managed to clear the puck. It was behind Boesa though. Leeds have their top line of Malasinski, Nell, and this time Pakodzi out. As discussed, we think they changed their line combinations after going 4 down.
They did, yeah. Putting Pakodzi on that top line is going to just help sort of create a bit more space. It's a bit more of a physical presence than Glenn Billing. Billing's a very great distributor of the puck, but you don't sign Glenn Billing to be your physical presence. Pakodzi much happy to get into the corners and do some of the dirty work, and can hopefully clear some space for Nella Malasinski that they've lacked so far.
And that was Malasinski there trying to knock the puck loose. And now mishandling, and Hayward can play in Witkowski, who we know can really, really snipe the puck. Pakodzi's bumped away from the puck by Hayward. Asked to take a seat. and Haywood is now trying to dig the puck out from Pakhodzi. Managed to get it all the way round for Neely, but Neely was unbalanced. Now Buesa for Leeds comes back, looks to get to the red, gets it forward to Witkowski, who taps it in. Leeds take a change. Colby Tower comes on for Swindon. Pakhodzi spins, finds Nell. Tower goes inside. Nell's shot blocked by Griffin. Now here come Leeds. This is Archer, the retiree. His shot spilled by Marr, and he got a look at the rebound, but Marr tracked it well, and now coming out in front, Leeds with Endicott, I think, trying to wrap that one round, and a shot into traffic from Baldwin had sticks and plenty for Marr to have to track there. They flip one forward, Swindon, up to Tower. Tower feet inside. Oh, what a save on Cowley. Gospel, well, we saw him make one outstanding save in the first period, but that one, absolutely athletic, acrobatic save from Sam Gospel.
What a save from Sam Gospel there in a massive, massive moment that could have turned the game on its head to make it 4-3, and at full stretch, almost in the splits, denying Russ Cowley. What a moment that could be in the game.
So Luke Johnson back on Swindon defence, goes D to D to Bebris. Bebris rides a hit from Howlett and feeds it back to Johnson. Johnson's attempt to backhand out the zone has been picked up though. And this is Barron for Leeds. Barron tried to find a teammate, Brown, but that's broken up. This is Jones, I believe. Jones goes onto the backhand. Good speed into the zone. Looks backhand to feed the point, but then turns inside, knocks it back down for Bullas. Now Billing. Billing turns, feeds back to Bullas. McMullen cuts that out for Leeds, but Billing recovers. Billing flips one inside. Now McMullen tries to clear again, but again, good job here by Swindon just to hold the puck in, but they haven't managed to move it into a dangerous shooting position now. Billing's got some space. What can he do? Finds it up to Malasinski, swooping down from high in the zone. Malasinski turning, looking for a bit of support. Finds it with Plews up at the point. Plews steps in. Wide. Flips one right across, and a bouncing puck. Bounce over the stick, and look how alive Brown was to releasing Howlett there with a spin pass, but didn't quite come off. Swindon coming forward now. Behind the net, out in front, and it jumped up, and Gospel had to be alert to deal with that.
Malazinski has scored more than one goal in his career from doing those little flick plays that people don't necessarily expect. He's banked more than one goal this season off the back of a netminder, and maybe saw that little bit of an angle just coming around the net to put it off the back of Gospel, but it didn't quite land as well as he wanted it to. Gospel aware to the danger. This is much better from Swindon. They're starting to feel like they're starting to go work up through the gears a bit. And now they've put Lebuele out with Nella Malazinski, so another big physical presence in place of Pakhodzi on that top line.
Up to the point for Whitfield. Swindon control from the draw. Whitfield shoots one wide. Malasinski puts it back down low for Lebuele. Lebuele turning back inside. Good job there from Bo Neely to get the puck up for Leeds. Neely again now in the neutral zone. Feeds up for Witkowski. He had his stick lifted by Lebuele, but he's managed to get the puck back. Cross ice dump in. Malasinski tried to deal with it, but in the end it ends up back behind the goal. Now Whitfield long pass up. Malasinski has got Lebuele and Nell on the other side. He went for Nell. Nell didn't handle the pass though, so Leeds can bring it out from in front of their own net. Now here's Ethan Hare. He hasn't got support, so he's going to have to delay, or instead he flashes a shot in front of the Swindon net. Buesa threw a big hit on Reed Sayers. Leeds take a change. Swindon setting up. Cowley. Whitfield. Backhands one forward. Sayers taps it in behind the Leeds net. Tower. Just a patient job of cycling the puck and trying to play a territorial game here, we've seen from Swindon. Tower turning, knocked off his feet, but pops back up. Backhands one in deep. Sayers knocks it in again for Tower. Tower bringing a lot of energy on this forecheck. But Griffin now coming away for Leeds. Up to Endicott. Can't go further than neutral though. And Swindon just pump it in and then take a change. Now, McMullen. Oh, he was looking for a long pass up to Barron there, but that was a bit optimistic and he's ended up icing the puck.
Idea good, execution not quite so good on that pass there. Like I say, Swindon are starting to turn the screw a little bit more. And where at the beginning we felt like they weren't starting to find ways through, given the fact that they've scored 2 now, you do wonder. There's that sort of feeling that maybe Swindon are going to find a way. But certainly, if Sam Gospel's going to pull out another save like that, no.
So 13 minutes and 36 seconds left to play in this second period. We're approaching the halfway mark. Now here's Endicott, who is one of the Swindon trained players on the Leeds side. Bringing it forward. Swindon break it up. Bebris. This is Lebuele. Lebuele outnumbered heavily, but still manages to get the shot through onto Gospel. Now up to the point, and Bebris fluffed his lines on the slap shot. Howlett delaying. Knocks it down. Good recovery by Plews. Plews gets the legs moving to make a bit of space. Feeds up to Jones. But Hare for Leeds is there to disrupt things. Swindon do manage to tap it forward. Once again, trying to get this forecheck working. Pakodzi being pinned to the board by Bo Neely. Another Leeds defender in there to help out is Barron. Barron backhands one up to Brown's wing, and now Howlett. Oh, and he's snapped a very quick low shot, but good position, and then good hit by Leeds at neutral ice. Now looking for a quick snap one-timer. Not often you see them getting inside like that, but now going across to Pakodzi.
Leeds are just doing that little bit of great little disruptive work. Everything that Swindon have when they get through on the break, it always seems to break down for one reason or another, where it didn't for Leeds in the first period.
Leeds now working in the Swindon zone with Hayward. Hayward turning. Turns back into his checker, who holds him up effectively. Pakodzi trying to move the puck up for Swindon. He manages to clear the zone, but there's no Swindon presence there. Stretch pass to centre to Buesa. And the fans finding their voice here.
I think a few people are not very keen on the MK Lightning song.
It's the Lightning fans. Their team may not be here, but their fans have turned out in force, and credit to the club there. Okay. Swindon trying to clear their zone. Leeds doing a good job of holding it in. Witkowski finds Buesa, and inside for Ethan Hare. And Hare couldn't quite control it, so Marr gratefully snaps that one up.
Good little bit of passenger play there as well for Leeds. Just not being patient, and I think it's very, very easy sometimes when you get a couple of goals up and you just want to plough through and just put more and more shots in them and the like. But actually being patient and letting the chances come is important too. But credit to Swindon. We talked about how much they were trying to force things through in that first period. They've settled down a bit now in the second, knowing that they're still within a chance. They don't have to rush quite so much, at least not yet as we approach the halfway point of the game.
This is Lebuele bringing forward for Swindon. Out to the wing for Johnson. Johnson backhanding inside for Lebuele. And then diving clear attempt by Endicott for Leeds. Swindon knock it into the corner for Lebuele. He's pinned by Ethan Hare. Manages to kick it over. Only as far as the Leeds defender, but held in at the point. And now it's loose. And Jones has got a shooting chance, and that was blocked by McMullen. And we've said several times, haven't we, how effective Leeds have been at closing down shooters and blocking shots.
Noah McMullen has been superb today in some of it, not just in the fact he's getting in the way, but also his defensive positioning. But it's moments like that as well. Sam Gospel knows that his defence are they're going to put their bodies on the line. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that he is going to be able to see the puck and stop the puck. And, well, to be fair to Noah McMullen, if he's going to dive in front of every shot like that, Sam Gospel might have a bit of an easier afternoon.
So, whose turn is it to play with Nell and Malasinski? Looks like Pakodzi out again this time.
Keep Leeds guessing, I suppose, might be one way to do it, because, like we said, they keep having that sort of physical presence on that line to help clear them a bit of space is going to make them a bit more effective.
Blues up to Nell. Nell's pass took a deflection, managed to get all the way down into the Leeds zone. Swindon keep it in. No, they don't keep it in. And so Malasinski is offside. Yeah, and I was in the warm-up. One of the things I wasn't perhaps expecting was we know Leeds have got a very young D-core, but two of their older defencemen, I say older, they're I think mid-20s, 24, 25, Bo Neely and Noah McMullen, the two imports, both wear full face cages, which is somewhat unusual usually for older players, for players who aren't juniors, but you can see why. Because there's a total commitment there to blocking shots, and clearly these lads are prepared to put their faces on the line for it. Oh, shot by Witkowski over the glove, and that's gone out of play.
Dressed for the job you want, I suppose, if you're Noah McMullen and Bo Neely. That apparently has not gone out.
That hasn't gone out of play.
I think we all thought it had.
It looked like the players thought that too, but no. So, Witkowski looks like such a dangerous shooter. We saw him pop the bottle off Mars net for Leeds' third goal in the first period, and now we do have a whistle, and I have absolutely no idea why.
No, I think I've missed that one as well. Just a stoppage for us all to have a bit of a breath intake, and for a Mexican wave to make its way around the Sky Dome in celebration. A great atmosphere, if nothing else, even if maybe the singing of the MK fans didn't go down too well.
It is a unique atmosphere, isn't it? Because the bringing together of all of the different clubs.
It's one of the great things about British hockey, where our format is different from a lot of other countries. To have something like this where we can all just get together and have a bit of a party to see the season off and get some great hockey into it, which is what we've had so far.
Now Swindon at work with Cowley behind the Leeds net, being pinned by Baldwin. Tower comes in and support, and now Whitfield will pinch in to try and seal the puck. Whitfield and Tower. Tower's brought the puck loose. Good stick check from Baldwin there, as Tower was making dangerous play to the net, and then a spinning pass for Sayers. Sayers goes over, collects the loose puck, but the feed is a loose one, and Leeds come out. It's a solid bit of body check there on Baldwin from the Swindon defence. Leeds take a breather, both teams changing. Wildcats just finding their shape in the neutral zone, and Lebuele didn't quite connect with that hit, but he certainly gave it a powerful shot. Lebuele now carrying his shot inside, blocked by Neely. Neely's slow getting to his feet. Looks like that one stung. Away come Leeds, flipping in. Archer in what he hopes will not be his last game, and now a freeze by Rennie Marr. Sees a little bit of pushing and shoving behind the Swindon net.
Well, Ollie Endicott's got in quite close there, and I think that's obviously not gone down very well.
Someone's got a hand up in Lebuele's face. The referees are all in there, ensuring that order will return. Is it Endicott?
It was Endicott was certainly the one involved right at the beginning there. I mean, you talk about Gael Lebuele having he can do a bit of everything. Everything Gael Lebuele does is done with ferocity and velocity. Yeah. He hits hard, he shoots hard, he celebrates hard when he scores. There is this man has when he plays, he has one speed, and it is not slow.
And he had a fantastic qualifying round, didn't he?
He did. He was
8 points in 6 games. Swindon's leading scorer in the qualifiers,
which is what you want out of one of your import forwards, especially a guy in the playoffs. Playoffs had that bit of intensity, and a guy who plays quite an intense physical game as well to be one of the top scorers is just what you want.
Malasinski, clever turn to get the puck loose to now Pakozzi's stepping in, and Pakozzi looked like he had a shooting lane, which you don't get very often with Leeds, and now a shot in from the point that was blocked by skates of the Leeds defenders. Now Howlett brings it out of the zone for Leeds. He's immediately pressured by Malasinski. Oh my word! Oh, save Marr off his own mistake. Well, that was a scary moment for Swindon. Leeds nearly registered their 5th there.
Just came out of a blind spot for him, but out of nowhere, just managed to flick the pad back out. But I think you and I both thought that was going in. That was a moment. I think we're going to get a replay.
We will have a replay here. There was Howlett carrying through neutral, flipped one in, which just escaped Marr, and a good recovery.
But he's bounced it back out, assuming that his defenseman's going to be the first man to it, to turn quickly and come the other way, and it's not quite gone where he thought it went. A heart-in-mouth moment there for the Swindon Wildcat fans in the building, but ooh, Rennie Marr, as they say, and very much ooh on that moment.
So 7 minutes left to play of this second period. 2 goals in it. Leeds came out, took the early lead with 4 goals inside the first 10 minutes, but Swindon have industriously worked their way back into the game since. 2 goals from Sam Bullas, the captain. They've got them feeling that they've still got something to play for here. Now Leeds have got numbers. Hayward, he's got Witkowski taking a lane to the net, and a clever backhand pass. Witkowski's lost the puck though, and we have a penalty. Sam Bullas complaining to the ref, so I would imagine this has gone against Swindon.
He's called the hook as Mr. Anderson.
Is it Whitfield? It is Whitfield.
It is, just as the man's come round the corner there. They've just tried to sort of tie each other up, and Mr. Anderson has called him for hooking. And Leeds have been very, very patient this period. They've not had tons and tons of chances, but they've not needed to because of how clinical they've been. Now, with that little bit of extra space that the power play will allow them, what can they craft out here? And
Leeds, of course, are 1 for 1 on the power play. That was Kieran Brown's goal. That was the last Leeds goal. But Swindon have managed to clear the puck right down to Gospel. Gospel sets one up for Neely. Neely's got players ahead and behind, but he carries it all the way in, right the way behind the Swindon net. And he's still got it in the corner. But Swindon come away with Jones. Jones got Malasinski taking a line towards Gospel's net, but he couldn't find him. Back come Leeds with Brown. Brown generates speed, cuts across, and he's absolutely railed a wrist shot over the glove of Rennie Marr. And second power play goal for Kieran Brown. Leeds now 2 for 2 and 3 goals to the good.
He just picks up a head of speed, works his way into space. The D's sort of separate, and it's just Kieran Brown. There are not enough superlatives at times for the sort of performances this man has had. 3 back-to-back 100-point years, and he was given the freedom of the Sky Dome to skate into. Nobody stepped up to put a stick or anything in the lane. And as good as Rennie Marr is, that puck was only going into one place, and it wasn't into his glove.
Well, we have almost consciously tried not to over-focus on Kieran Brown, haven't we? Because
it's very hard when he does that.
He really is a superstar in this league, but he's not making it easy for us here, is he?
No.
Leeds come forward with Witkowski, but he's outnumbered. Taps one in. We've seen Swindon respond. They responded to going 4 down. Now the margin is back to 3. What have they got? Here's Bullas, who has the 2 Swindon goals. Now goes into pressure Witkowski. McMullen taps one high off the boards to Witkowski, and Hayward bounces it off the boards for Buesa. Buesa gains the Swindon zone, stops up, goes inside for Hayward, and across for Witkowski, and he missed on the short side. Glorious chance for Leeds. Good vision from Hayward to find Witkowski, who now comes in from a narrow angle and tries a high shot. That came wide, and now along come Swindon with Tower. He's got Bullas inside of him. Leeds blocked the shot, but the block dribbled past Gospel's net. Now in the corner for Leeds to bring out. McMullen opts to just flip a safe high one. That won't be enough for icing. It will be enough for icing, beg your pardon. So the whistle blows, and the puck is coming back down into the Leeds zone.
One thing I think that I've noticed a fair bit this game, and it's on the last couple of games where I've had a chance to watch Swindon. Colby Tower has just been so effective for them on that forecheck. But there's guys not kind of getting into spaces for him to do anything. But that's testament to just how good the defensive positioning of Leeds has been. Somebody has to go into that corner with Tower, and he can turn them inside out as much as he wants to. But if he's staying in the corner with the puck and he hasn't got anywhere to distribute it to, it's not going to come. It's not going to come to much.
Up at the point, Swindon shot in. Rebound off a Leeds player, went over the net, and now Gospel's frozen that one. Yeah, I have to say, Tower passes the eye test very, very quickly. You see him instantly as a player with a high level of intensity, and that's what you need in a playoff game.
Yeah, and as we talked, as I mentioned about Lewele, of course, the two of them former university teammates over in Canada, similar-ish in styles, but with enough little differences where they complement each other when they do play on the line together. Not something we've seen as of yet. If they wanted to potentially up their intensity and their physicality, Swindon, that is an option that they have. Maybe they went with a different centre, maybe like a Jones or a, or potentially even, dare I say it, break up Nella Malazinski if things aren't working.
So Leeds managed to chop the puck into the Swindon zone. Swindon got numbers back, just overpowering the puck, and then a stretch pass up to Colby Tower, well cut out there by Dylan Hare. Swindon change sides. Neely wins his stick battle, gets his head up, finds Endicott, who just backhands the puck into the Swindon zone. Johnson goes back, rides a check, gets some support from, I think that's Russ Cowley digging away for the puck. No, beg your pardon, it's Smith. Swindon just trying to tap the puck loose, and they've managed to get it up to Malasinski. But Malasinski was instantly intercepted. Now here's Matt Howlett. Oh, he tried to go high glove over Marr as well. Worked well for Brown, but you do need to hit the net.
He saw that top corner, didn't he, and fancied a piece of it himself, but not to be on that occasion.
Here's Brown in the corner, knocking behind the net for Barron. Up to the point, Baldwin. Baldwin fans his pass, but then backhands it into the corner. Howlett protecting the puck. And now Howlett has been spilled over by Bebris. Bebris brings the puck forward, looking for Jones. Jones tries to tap one inside, but there wasn't a Swindon player there to carry the puck over the zone. And oh, look out here. Here comes Barron. He's in. He's got a shot, and he's shot under the pad. It's a clever finish. He looked across, sold the pass, and then took a quick shot under Marr's pad, and it's 6-2. Luke Johnson just caught out a little bit out there on the wall, slightly out of position, and Barron then is, there's the 2-on-1. Everyone thinks the pass is coming. Marr thinks the pass is coming straight through the 5-hole from Matt Barron, and it's 6-2 with 2:29 left to play in this. It's still, the Knights are starting to push themselves away. They're exerting their dominance again, but again, clinical. One little mistake was all it took. Ton of space to skate into. No chance for Rennie Marr. So Leeds re-establish their 4-goal lead, and of course there's only 2 minutes 20 to play of this period, and then the third, so much less time for Swindon to work with here. They did a good job bringing themselves back into the game at the end of the first. What will they show us now? This is McMullen for Leeds, knocking it down into the Swindon zone. Whitfield rings it round for Malasinski. Malasinski getting into some trouble with Wesser. Wesser lays the lumber on Malasinski, but it's Whitfield comes to collect. This is Pakodzi for Swindon. Oh, dropped a pass that his line mate wasn't quite ready for there. Whitfield knocks one off the board for Swindon. Swindon backhand one all the way in on Gospel. Pakodzi collecting his equipment, takes a change. Now Howlett coming over, collected by Cowley. Cowley, space to skate into, and looks for a pass. Passes it up to Tower. Tower takes it on his skates, gets it into the corner, and now puts it out in front. This is Bebris. Bebris' shot blocked. Up at the point with Godfrey, and another block, double block here by Barron. Full voice from the MK fans. Plews back to handle for Swindon. Skates behind his own net. Looks up. Looks for players to curl down into position, which is how he finds Tower. Tower steps inside his man. Now carries across against 3. Tried to drive wide. And now gets it back towards to Bullas at the Leeds net. Bullas turns and you can see his exasperated expression there as his pass hit the referee. Beveris back on defence. Howlett across. Brown handles and then look to feed it back inside. Lebuele, good job to keep on his skates and now come forward with speed. Here's Lebuele driving wide on his backhand side, pulls inside and snapped a shot that was disrupted by a stick, so that went wide. Now Plews for Swindon in the corner, shadowed by Witkowski. We have a whistle. Is this a penalty off the play? Yeah, it is, and it's going to go against Leeds, so we will see the first chance for Swindon to get this very effective power play going.
Matt Hayward called for the hook there. Could be a lifeline for Swindon, but we saw again there. We talked a lot about McMullen and Neely and how they're getting stuck in and taking blocking lots of shots. Matt Barron, who scored an absolute beauty of a goal, 2 blocks in the space of a couple of seconds. This is it's a whole team defensive effort in this kind of environment. Guys are put the cliche about guys are putting their body on the line. Leeds literally living by it.
Well, knowing that there was not more than a second on the clock, Nell shot clean off the face-off. That was saved by Gospel. Well, after Swindon starting well and having a bit of control and pushing, a couple of chances is all it takes for Leeds to get back their 4-goal cushion.
It's the story of the game so far, isn't it? About Swindon have had ideas, have had the execution disrupted. They've not been able to kind of take their chances they've had them, and they get instantly and immediately and devastatingly punished by a Knights side that just have their eye in. I mean, that Barron goal just testament to what's happened to Swindon so far. A great idea, didn't come off, made a mistake, punished immediately.
So at the end of the second, the score is Leeds Knights 6, Swindon Wildcats 2.
Well, you can catch more of the action here at Planet Ice Skydome Arena right after this short break. Welcome back to Planet Ice Skydome Arena here in Coventry for this finals weekend. And we've got the first of those 2 games currently standing at the end of the second period with Leeds Knights 6, Swindon Wildcats 2. Guys, the Cats certainly are not out of this. They're still fighting away. A quiet second period, I thought, for a while until Leeds got those 2 goals.
Yeah, the tempo definitely settled down in the second to start with, didn't it? And we saw some really quite patient work by Swindon in the Leeds zone. But ultimately, it's just very, very difficult to get a shot through onto Gospel, isn't it?
It is. It's the Noah McMullen and Bo Neely brick wall show at the moment in this one. As you say, there, Swindon, of course, in that first period when they were 4 down, they were forcing the play and got something out of it. And actually, they needed to calm themselves down. You can't play that kind of way for 60 minutes. It just doesn't work. But then, having forced things and gotten somewhere, they were patient and didn't really get much as a result. The Leeds defence, and then of course Sam Gospel pulling off an absolutely superb save at full splits on Russ Cowley with the toe as well. It's not, it was as close as it could be without being. And Swindon have got they've got 1:59 of a power play left to start this third period. They need a big idea quick.
Leeds, on the other hand, do not suffer that problem, do they? When they come forward against Swindon, they get this instant penetration. They're so quick on the break. They can get in behind and cause instant problems.
It's that exploitation of the space that they've been able to do. It's the thing that's it's terrifying to watch. I remember there was a point in the first period where they were already 4-0 up and they sort of started coming down the ice, and I said to you, I'm worried they're about to score again. And it's that little bit of that feeling that as Swindon will push, and they have to push. They're 4 goals down in a playoff semi-final. Do or die. It's literally, they have to do something, and they have to do something now. Swindon needs to be careful that they don't give too much space, or that scoreline could start heading higher and higher.
Now, as you said, Swindon do have a power play to work with.
Indeed.
So a chance for what's been a very effective power play for them in the regular season. They're actually 1 second into the power play, and they've already managed to have 1 shot in 1 second, which is a pretty effective record.
An effective return, if nothing else. But what do they try and craft? What do they try and create here? Gospel has turned away at pretty much everything that they've thrown at him. The goals that they've scored have been, a little bit greasy, a little bit dirty. What do you do, especially on a power play that's normally predicated on putting the puck up high, letting Aaron Nell shoot, letting Malazinski shoot? They're not really a team that scores a lot of power play goals very in tight. We talked about them as well, about them upping that intensity, Swindon, upping their physicality. How else are you going to break down a brick wall? You can't break it through finesse. You kind of need to go through it sometimes. They need to find a way to break that McMullen and Neely and that sort of team ethos of just literally getting in the way of everything, you know. And if you can't go over it, and you can't go under it, and you can't go around it, there's only one option left, and that's through it.
Indeed. So Leeds Knights 4 goals to the good, leading as they do by 6-2 against Swindon, and it's a win from Leeds to manage to get it down into the Swindon zone. We've got Brown and Barron out as forwards, killing penalty for Leeds with McMullen, and I think Baldwin inside. Billing for Swindon gets it across to Lebuele down to Billing. Billing looks, feeds back to Lebuele, down low. Billing again. Now it's up at the point with Nell as Swindon wait for a shooting lane to open over to Malasinski. That's just got past Nell on the point. He's got to be clever now because Brown closes gaps very, very quickly. Nell does a good job, knocks it back inside for Malasinski. Swindon forward with bodies. That one is a long, slow dump in for Nell to go and pressure. Nell sort of swallowing up McMullen there. Now it's down behind with Billing. Billing back to Nell. This is going to come loose if Barron can chop it forward for Howlett. Howlett needs to do his chin strap up or he's going to get an equipment penalty here. He probably doesn't realise. Howlett carrying onto the backhand. Now Tower. Swindon have changed personnel. Lebuele takes a change. Tower banks one hard off the boards. It's a little bit of a loose play, that, because it's coming right back for icing.
Glenn Billing there very frustratedly pointing out to the officials there that Howlett's been skating around with that chin strap undone for quite some time. The referees, you know, it's not the sort of call you want to make.
It's a hard call to make for a ref, isn't it? You usually get a warning, you would think. Yes,
and also as well, with all due respect to Glenn Billing, if I'm either Mr. Anderson or Mr. Matthews, I'm not particularly staring very, very hard at Mac Howlett's chin.
Well, here's Nell. He's stayed out for Swindon, and turning, he can now bring the puck up under the checking pressure from Buesa. Means that all Nell can do is just push it down behind the Leeds net, and that's an easy clear for Leeds. Marr comes back to set up for Malasinski. Malasinski up to Nell. Nell cross ice, nice open play here. Reed Sayers drops a loose one for Jones. Cowley's been bumped off his feet, but Malasinski now looks for a route to the Leeds net front. Gets over to Jones. Jones one-timer. Good block. Matt Howlett for Leeds. Here's Howlett now coming away with speed. They've killed it off, and he's managed to get in behind Reed Sayers and got it across for Hayward. Managed to exploit the fact that Swindon don't have 2 defencemen out at the moment.
Howlett, they're blocking the shot at one end, immediately goes down the other end and makes a play. This is the sort of danger you have to. It's the double, triple threats from Leeds as individuals.
Meanwhile, Brown found on a one-timer attempt. Swindon have managed to change their personnel, and Whitfield threw onto Gospel, gave him a backhand shot to deal with. Bullas now bringing forward with Lebuele for Swindon. Bullas rides the body into the corner. Lebuele comes and cleans it up. Gets it up to the point for Godfrey. Godfrey's shot hit traffic. Lebuele back down. Bullas up to the point for Whitfield. Whitfield's shot rode off a stick and went up into the glass. Now Godfrey has to adjust his feet as the puck changes direction, gets behind him. Whitfield lays off for Godfrey. Picozzi signals which way he wants the play to go. Loose puck though, pounced upon by Endicott. Endicott shoots it into the breadbasket with Marr, and that's an easy gather.
Yeah, just a shot on net there to allow everybody an opportunity to just kind of reset there from Ollie Endicott. Obviously probably would have liked it to go top corner, but it was never heading in that direction. I'm just scratching my head here, George, about what Swindon do now. They've changed lines, they've changed tactic. You know, it's hard to see their way through at this point.
It's a mountain to climb here, but what can Jones do? Well, he managed to get an inside lane, and Bo Neely did a very good job of staying with him, body on body. Jones on the far side knocks it down for Johnson. Jones going to work again. I beg your pardon, that's not Jones, it's who? Spears, is it?
Sayers.
Sayers, beg your pardon. Wrong team, wrong player. Now, Billing fed one in front. But that's collected by Leeds, and here they come on the break. It's Endicott. Endicott wheeling and dealing, looking for support from the point, but he has none. So it's broken up. Griffin now carrying over for Leeds. Over to the far wing, shot in. Shot through traffic, came wide. And now a shot from Witkowski hit a stick and went up into the netting. So yeah, Leeds looking dangerous already. A couple of good chances. You can see they could extend this lead.
Yeah, and that's the sort of that horrible sort of the ever creeping dread when you play Leeds of, well, they've got one, they're going to get two, they're going to get three, they're going to get four, it's going to be more kind of thing, and they just, yeah, like I said, it's not just the fact that they're scoring lots of goals as well, they're just shutting down the big game players for Swindon.
Oh, here's Nell. He had a shot that he flashed wide of the glove side of Gospel's goal. Malasinski now down low, coming out on his backhand, looking for a little bit of support. Gets it over to Plews. His shot went high, went up into the glass.
As soon as
so
I said that,
Swindon getting looks, but they just can't get pucks through, can they?
They can't, no. As soon as I said something about their top game players not playing very well, Aaron Nell got a chance as well. So I'm sure there's a few people in Wiltshire would like me to keep talking at that point. But as you say, the chances for Nell, for Malasinski, you know, for Lebuele with his big shot as well, they've been few and far between. And it's that's just the mark of good game plans from Ryan Aldrich on that point.
So Swindon putting the experience out of Bullis, and Bullis slaps one into a side netting, and it was open. Cowley tried to bring it round. But here comes Leeds with the speed. Good job by Cowley to bump Howlett off the puck, and then Barron fed one through, which was padded away by Marr. Puck out of play, a whistle and a face-off in the Swindon zone.
It's just, yeah, there's so much, there's so many like great little threads about this. The defensive play of Leeds' forwards as well, sort of back checking, Colby Town sort of twisting and turning. It feels like Leeds, though, are starting to manage this game beyond Swindon now, and that they, you know, because Leeds love to score, but they don't need to score.
Oh, long shot in from Cowley, wide of the net. Tower goes to work in the corner. Out front for Cowley. Cowley shifts it onto his backhand, up to the point for Godfrey. Godfrey mishandled it though, and now comes Howlett. Oh, a fantastic move, and he managed to get it back onto his forehand, but scooped it over Marr's net.
A blink of an eye move, and Mac Howlett is in behind him, undresses the defenseman, and yeah, just put that one a little too high. But I think with a 4-goal margin and time ticking away, you can forgive Mac Howlett for that. But that's just how dangerous. And again, one little mistake on the blue line, immediately the space is exploited, and Leeds were in.
James Archer looks like his career is going to get a 1-game extension here. He's out for Leeds with the 2 Hare boys. Swindon coming away. Lebuele. His pass to centre is disrupted. Leeds tap it back for Swindon to collect. Johnson, long pass off the boards for Lebuele. Out of his reach, goes into the corner. Neely recovers for Swindon. Archer, good play to clear his line. Oh, loose from Smith. Leeds not pressing that high though, they're just happy in a comfortable position as Gospel sticks one wide of his net. Leeds can just tap forward, can't they, and just kill off the time. 13 minutes and 32 seconds left for Swindon to do something. We have a whistle though.
Matt Hayward and Chris Jones having a very sort of earnest, borderline physical discussion there about a few things. But as you say, Leeds are able to just let this clock run out. They don't need to do anything. They're at a wanting stage. Anything they want to do at this point, they can try things. They can do things. You know, eventually we're gonna, as the time ticks down, we might see a little bit more. Potentially, might see a bit more of Innes Gallagher and Finn Braden, who've not featured very heavily in this period so far.
Nell wins the draw. Back to Godfrey. His shot blocked by Witkowski. Nearly up to Buessa. Buessa looked to find Witkowski at centre ice, but instead he has to skate it through himself. Leeds bat it into the Swindon zone. This is Whitfield. Whitfield's pass inside disrupted, and Buessa backhanded one blind towards Hayward. That's cut out by Swindon though, and Malasinski now. Nice little move on one, nice little move on two, then spreads it wide. But that's broken up by Leeds. Leeds can't clear the zone though. Well, they do now. And they're coming away with Baldwin. But just the dump in all the way round for Brown. Brown chasing Nell. Nell gets a step to find it loose. Up to Colby Tower. Oh, nice little move. Dragged inside. Baldwin looked at the ref there, but the ref kept his hand down. After bumping Tower off his skates. Tower goes right back with a hit on Baldwin. But Leeds in control in their own zone.
I certainly wonder whether that hit from Baldwin was going to be called there. I immediately turned my head towards both officials, thinking that it's the sort of thing that potentially in a regular season game you might have been called. Obviously, it's the great thing of letting things go in the playoffs, but it was pretty 50-50 all things considered. I can see why that wasn't called on that occasion.
Baldwin did instantly check over his shoulder. Surefire sign of a guilty conscience, you're going to say. But 50-50 at best. Cowley now on the draw for Swindon in the lead zone. It's pushed to the side for Sayers to go and pressure McMullen, but McMullen uses his body well to protect the puck, get it over to Brown. Brown taps it forward for Howlett. Howlett shadowed by Bebris. Bebris comes up with the puck, changes sides to Cowley. Cowley, long up ice pass for Tower. Tower gets enough on it to hold up in the corner. Good body play by McMullen as well. They're not an imposing figures, the Leeds defence, but they use their bodies very wisely, protecting pucks.
Their positioning today has been second to none. It's been superb from the Leeds D, and not we've talked about McMullen and Neely and not, but also like Colvin. It's the entire defensive core today has been superb. Albeit those the aforementioned two will probably be very heavily in the discussion for man of the match in a few moments.
Yeah, and this is something we did discuss, didn't we, before the game? This Leeds team, it's very easy to focus on how dangerous they are in attack, but the thing that's really set them apart perhaps from their competitors this year in the league has been how well they defend.
Well, even down to this moment, this game here, we've had Matt Barron blocking shots, Matt Howlett blocking shots.
Yeah, Witkowski's blocked them as well,
and as well, it's that ability that they've had as well to turn that defence under pressure in moments of high pressure where things have been really, the pace of play has been really, really going, and they've not just blocked the shots and gotten in the way, but they've instantly turned it into attack and punished Swindon as a result.
Dylan Hare couldn't push the puck forward. Now away come Swindon. Whitfield shot into traffic, blocked again. Bulas collects for Swindon. Opts to go down low. He's flipped up, but no call. Godfrey over to the point for Whitfield. Whitfield shapes to shoot, but then knocks it back down low for Billing. Billing over to Malasinski. Leeds just keeping Swindon to the outside, but Malasinski's feed got all the way through to Gospel. Leeds clean up the rebound. Witkowski just happy to get to the red and dump it in cross ice. To Swindon defence back to collect. Up to centre for Nell. Nell taps one forward, but Bulas didn't have what it took to chase the puck. He goes for a change. Back come Leeds. Shot attempt from the far wing is blocked. Tower turns to find Godfrey. Godfrey looking for Sayers. That didn't work out. Now Godfrey's got to come back, collect, play it back off the board. This time picked up by Tower. Tower drives with speed, jams on the brakes. Puck was just poked away from him by Barron. Bebris trying to find a way into this Leeds zone, but Leeds very active in defence. Howlett back, generates speed, turning towards the board, then comes inside, comes across the face of the defence, carries it down low, slams on the brakes. It's pinned to the board by Plews, and Cowley in to support. Loose puck. Will Bebris step in to pick this up? Good job by Barron, just watching the seconds drip off the clock here. There's 9 minutes left of this to play, and a strong hit on Sayers by Kieran Brown. Sayers goes back, raises the hands, and someone's got a hold of Taylor Plews here.
It appears to be Brown. Well, Brown's gone in and hit him. He's nearly gone through Reed Sayers' numbers there. It wasn't really a whether it was mistimed or not, it wasn't maybe a necessary hit on that sense. But Tyler Plou's there stepping in. Brown's got it. I think that's Kieran Brown who's had his loss over. Yeah, it is. That's Kieran Brown. And Tyler Plou's has stepped in for his teammate there. It was actually no, there's Brown.
Barron,
There's Barron. Somebody was certainly getting involved. But yeah,
so
there was
Brown on Sayers was the hit.
Yeah, so the
Plou's and Barron saw it through. Plou's is going to the bench. Will Barron follow? Plou's did have the glove off, and he was cocked and ready to start throwing.
Well, Brown's gone to the box as well, as he was called for the hit, and rightly so. It was not a good hit.
And is Barron going as well?
Yes, he
is.
In which case,
we will have a Swindon power play possibly here. We should have, shouldn't we? If the original call on Brown.
Yes, Barron and Plou's should hopefully offset, and then we should get 5 on 4 here. But there's obviously a discussion happening momentarily.
So this could be a faint glimmer of hope for Swindon, but only a faint one. 4 goals they need. They've had 1 power play opportunity, which was effectively killed off by Leeds.
Yeah, it's not been. They've got 5 on 4 signals Mr. Matthews to the benches, which makes sense in my opinion, given what happened there. And yes, they're without Matt Barron and Kieran Brown for a portion of time, but there's Jordan Boesa, and there's Matt Howlett, and there's Matt Witkowski.
Yeah. And there's the 20 short-handed goals they've scored in 54 games this year. I mean,
but Swindon have an opportunity.
You're never
here.
safe, are you?
No, but Swindon have an opportunity here, and they have the talent and they have the ability to do something. But now they've got the ability. But they've got a little bit of time still. It's not completely out of the ordinary as to what they could do here. Now, interesting, they put 2 minutes up on the board for Matt Barron, which I'm not quite sure about there. Kieran Brown, an issue with his helmet that needing to be sorted, because of course he must have a helmet to be in the box so he can come out.
Is this what they're correcting? Because it will be Brown who comes out of the bench, won't it? If we've
it should
called these right, yeah.
Although of course we are yet to hear
Barron's number up on the board, but remains to be seen who will step out.
Indeed.
But that's 2 minutes away, and meanwhile Swindon have the advantage, and if there's any advantage here, it's that there's just 1 less Leeds body out there to block shots.
Yes, and 5 forwards on the power play as well for Swindon.
Malasinski puts it down for Lebuele, turns, Billing, changes sides to Nell. Nell tried to put one inside, but it came off the skates. Easy clear for Hayward. Malasinski back to collect for Swindon. They regroup. Malasinski bringing slowly through centre, gains the zone without any direct pressure, and then puts out in front for Billing. His shot didn't get through. Lebuele now down to Billing, over to Nell, tries a narrow angle. That didn't work. Leeds were there in time. Lebuele over to, I think, Nell. Now Malasinski, back to Nell. Nell's got a bit of room on this wing, and he's got Billing going inside. Billing backhands over for Tower, and Tower couldn't quite take that one out of the air. But it was a decent look.
The idea was there, and just didn't quite fall for Colby Tower.
Tower now will put it in deep. But Leeds have managed to clear the lines. Malasinski at the red line. Carries over. Wide for Nell. Nell passes over to Jones. Jones inside. I think this is Reed Sayers on the ice now. Nell! One-time shot was low. Blocked. Oh, Jones through traffic. Beg your pardon. Nell's first shot was saved by Gospel, and now he goes in on a narrow angle, and Gospel has to squeeze that. And there's a little conflagration in front of Gospel's net.
Just trying to hear the penalties come through there, and here's the 2 minutes for roughing. So Brown's gotten 2 for the hit, Plou's has gotten 2 for roughing, Barron's gotten 2 for roughing, so that's why Barron's is up on the board, because you've had one and the other. But yeah, some ideas again from Swindon, but again it's that Leeds defence just doing some good work. That big blast from Nell that he's not had the opportunity to really uncork in this game that he did there, but Gospel ultimately making the save. That's gone out of play, but that's not going to be delay of the game.
So we'll reset for the face-off. Russ Cowley, the final moments of a glorious career here, unless he can find a last miracle.
Still no defenseman on the ice for Swindon on this power play either. Not a single defenseman's touched the ice for them, although Bebris is now out there as soon as I said that.
26 seconds left to play. They find Jones inside, but that's broken up by Leeds. And now, again, trying to get the puck inside to a man in a shooting position, but Leeds close the door very quickly on that. Now it's up with Bebris. Bebris across to Jones. Jones knocks one into traffic. It came off Sayers, and Gospel was in position to collect that. And the penalised players returning from the bench. We're back to even strength, and that faint glimmer of hope that Swindon had has been extinguished, perhaps.
Hockey is a funny game, so you don't want to say never, but no. Time is very much now their enemy. I also keep forgetting in my head because Eggers Bebris has been so many years as a forward, he's now back on team. So, but yeah, the opportunities were there. The opportunities were there for Swindon. They just weren't really able to make them count. But again, the puck gets loose in front of Gospel, and that Knight's sort of penalty killing him, just dropping down, collapsing in front of him, getting everything in the way, making his job easy when the puck came through. Although it was a little bit scrambly at times there.
Endicott for Leeds, up to Hare. Archer, the veteran, out here with the two young guns, Endicott and Hare. Lebuele carries over for Swindon. Carries into traffic though. So Ethan Hare collects a puck at neutral ice. Gets it forward. This is Smith for Swindon, young defenceman behind his own net. Lebuele comes back, but Smith hangs on to it. Swindon needs to start moving this puck if they're to have any hope. Long pass up to Bullas. Bullas taps it down into the Leeds zone. Leeds swing it round to Hayward. All kinds of space for him to just tap up to centre. And now Baldwin. Hayward cleans up Baldwin's loose puck. Hayward gets it up to Witkowski at neutral. Witkowski goes across to, I think that's Bresser. Yes, it is. Witkowski holding in. No, he'll let it go out. So Neely across to Hare. Leeds just controlling the play now.
Superb game management from the Knights at this point. They're just slowly suffocating the life out of Swindon in this game. They're not overcommitting. They're not trying to push for too much. They just want to kind of see this one out at this point. And why not? Because they're at the moment they're about 5 or so minutes away from a very big day tomorrow.
Brown drops one for Witkowski, who backhands it back behind for Brown. This is Barron up to Neely. Neely over to Dylan Hare. Dylan Hare shoots into traffic. That hit a leg. And now Matt Cowlett spinning up to the point for Neely. Neely just knocks it into the far corner. Barron. Now this is Howlett. Knocks it back down to Brown. And Swindon really can't get much of puck here at all. And once they do, they can't do much with it. But they have now, because Tower's inside. Tower goes backhand and he scores! And it's the curse of the commentator. As I said, Swindon couldn't get anything going. And then it was just like that. It was Colby Tower streaking in from the far wing. Went backhand.
Well, to be fair, probably reward for how industrious Colby Tower has been. Gets the wrong side of one of the Hare boys there, and where he didn't get the puck up and above, he got it onto his backhand this time and actually managed to get it up and over the pad of Gospel. And now, 6-3 with 4.5 minutes to go. Hope is
it's a big ask.
It's not impossible. It is a very big ask, but of course sometimes hope is the worst thing.
Bullas and Hayward contest the draw. Leeds come away with it. Baldwin taps up. Now this is Jones. Leaves one for the defenseman to collect. Up to Malasinski. Malasinski, cross ice dump. Handled by Griffin. That's cleared the zone, so Bebris will have to go back and collect. Stevie Whitfield.
He's potentially been gifted an assist on that one, but that was 100% Colby Tower that scored that goal. I have a great amount of respect for Stevie Whitfield, but he doesn't score goals like that.
Mars had a little bit of a wobble on the puck here, and now Howlett's shot Well, that was blocked by Reed Sayers.
That'd be
I beg your pardon, it was Bebris.
That'd be symptomatic of Swindon's day, though, wouldn't it? To score a lovely goal like that, to just give them a little bit of a glimmer of hope, and then just have that happen to them.
Lebuele just flipped one up here for Billing. Billing carrying wide, trying to find Lebuele inside. Picozzi will come down to seal off the boards, but he hasn't managed that. Now Brown comes away. Mar looked like he was going to the bench there, and Mar, in a funny position, forced to make an awkward save on Brown. Back comes Picozzi for Swindon. Loose one for Billing. Billing just cleaning up on a Picozzi shot that was blocked. Howlett now will chop this one, or will try and chop this one into the Swindon zone, which he eventually manages. Swindon work out who's going to bring this up for them. It's Smith. Oh, beg your pardon, that's Cowley. Cowley up to Tower. Tower backhands one round. Nell can't keep the puck in. The Swindon net is empty.
Mars literally just climbing over the bench at this point.
2 minutes 40 seconds. We have a whistle. It's coming back down, so you guess, were they going to keep Mar pulled here?
Given the face-offs in that end, you would assume that they're going to. They've got the icing. Leeds have not been allowed to change. Maybe in the hope of a few tired legs. I think the thing is, though, that Leeds have shown that they don't seem to tire. They don't seem to make that many mistakes, and they don't seem to sort of lose the legs, as it were. So all or nothing for the Wildcats now.
Malasinski up at the point, looking to shoot. Puts it inside for Jones. Jones shot into traffic. It hit Tower and dropped down. This is Nell. Up to Malasinski. That was nearly pinched there. Now they've got it down low, and Nell's shot. Good position from Gospel. He was down, covering the low part of the ice.
Yeah, there was a big chance in there. Cowley with the stick in there, just seeing in case the puck bobbled out there as Gospel kind of dived on it. Of course, if you push and shoves there afterwards, you don't get too close to anybody's goalie. But there's a lot to be said there. Matt Hayward, I think they're just G'ing up the Knights supporters there in blocks 7 and 8 there.
So Cowley back out for the draw. Lebuele on this near point. Malasinski on the far one. Jones lined up behind the puck. I beg your pardon, that's Nell. Nell digs it out. Knocks it in behind for Tower. It's up into the netting. They reset the face-off in the Leeds zone. 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to play. Beg your pardon.
Oh, apologies there, yeah, but it's the little things as well there. What did Leeds do? Rather than kind of winning the face-off, they tie it up. Another second ticks off the clock. It's just that bit of those little bits of smarts that you just need in moments like this. You don't want to panic. You don't want to give them any particular hope. You don't want to give them the momentum. Like I say, Leeds have slowly started to suffocate the game a bit.
Oh, Nell's shot flashed past the blocker side. I think Gospel may have got a little bit on that. They swing it all the way around for Malasinski. Malasinski tried to shake a move on Brown, but Brown was wise to that. They've iced the puck, Leeds. So we reset the face-off as we've just got 2 minutes and 1 second left. This game agonisingly just getting away from Swindon here.
So at this point, gentlemen, who are our MVPs would you be looking at?
Oh, well, Anthony?
I think certainly from a Swindon perspective, I think there's an argument for Sam Poulas with his 2 goals, but I think, well,
that's Howlett has sealed the deal here, I think, for Leeds.
Very much so, and he has to have been in the discussion for MVP. Certainly for the Knights, though, with just a straightforward empty net goal, that last little mistake, the face-off goes down. Howlett there lurking and just shoots from distance and puts it in. For the Knights, though, I think it has to go to, for me, Neely or McMullen. The 2 of them have been so. We can talk about all the goals. The offense has been there, like we said it was going to be, but the defensive display from those 2 today has been superb. For Swindon, I think probably Colby Tower. Yes, Sam Bullis has 2 of the 3 goals. Yeah. Tower has been the player today where Nella Malasinski have been marked out of the game. He's the one who's been creative for Swindon when they at the time when they've kind of needed it most. But yeah, ultimately there we've just watched Mac Howlett put this game to bed, and the youngsters are out now for Leeds.
Finn Braden on the puck, backhands it into the corner for Innes Gallagher. Leeds obviously will rest their top 6 forwards now. all their thoughts will be moving towards Sunday, where they will face the winner of the Telford-Peterborough game that we've got coming up for you.
Yeah, there's getting the opportunity for the youngsters as well.
Swindon likewise have put Lipsey and Druitt out, I think.
Yeah, and why not at this stage? You know, like, with all due respect to Swindon, this game is decided now, and letting these younger players have the opportunity to play in this big game, particularly for those Swindon lads. Yes, it's not gone their way in the club's first appearance back here in 10 years, but that they get the opportunity to do so is massive for them in the long run.
So probably inconsequential, well, certainly inconsequential, but Barron's taken a tripping penalty here as he spilt Picozzi to the ice at the Leeds blue line.
Yeah, no arguments from anybody on that one. I think he was wondering why did they bother calling it at this point, but the officials have a job to do, and it doesn't matter whether it's minute 1 or minute 60. If you do something like that, you're going to get called for it.
The letter of the law.
Indeed, very much so.
Now, reflective, time for Swindon now. Listen, they were 4-0 down within 10 minutes. They made a game of it.
Very, very much so.
Against a very, very, very effective Leeds team.
Yeah, and ultimately we are seeing the careers of two. Stevie Whitfield has been a one-club man his entire career, and the end of the career of the hyperbole being what it's being, and then both of them are out there now. I can see that the British hockey legend that is Russ Cowley, fantastic servant of the game, played for many decent teams. A guy who's a legend in this building, and yes, it's not the way he would want to end it, but some serendipity that Russ Cowley, for the club he made his senior debut for, gets to retire in the rink where his jersey is retired. So not the way he would choose to go out. He'd much rather probably be having this discussion tomorrow, but he is a good way to go out. If you're going to have an end, have a good end, and this is potentially as good an end as you could want. And he gets to be on the ice with the next generation
with the future,
in Swindon. Yeah.
Shaw and Lipsey we see out there. Josh Shaw, Dylan Lipsey. No doubt many years of great hockey ahead of those two lads.
Very much so.
And here's Shaw now, carrying wide for Swindon. He's got Lipsey behind him. A little turn of the skates there. Lipsey now on the puck. Time ticks away, and the final buzzer, the final score today is Leeds Knights 7, Swindon Wildcats 3.
Sam Godfrey pockets the puck there, I notice, and immediately chucks it towards the Swindon bench, not allowing Leeds to get that one. But Jimmy Archer may have his one tomorrow, because he gets to dance another day.
Well, gentlemen, it started rapid with the Leeds Knights coming out and catching the Swindon Wildcats early, and then from then Swindon struggled to get into the game. We saw a flash of them late in our first period, but ultimately, what was the downfall?
Well, I think Leeds Knights just aren't a team where I can see any appreciable weaknesses. I mean, they're just a fantastic attacking team and a fantastic defending team with a great goalie. So I can't see that there's much Swindon could do, especially in a game where they fell behind so deep and so early.
Yeah, Leeds' big issue at times is that sometimes if you make them think too hard, they will overthink and they will make their own errors as a response. But they didn't make errors.
They didn't have to do much thinking either, did they? With a clear lead, you could see they could just relax and control things.
Yeah, the shock and awe value that you're able to provide with that level of offense. And yes, Swindon coming back to 4-2 made them kind of reevaluate what they needed to do, but they kept them at arm's length the entire time. Really, it was like watching Big Brother hold Little Brother at bay in a fight, brothers as they are in many ways. It just didn't work for Swindon.
Well, Leeds go on to the big show tomorrow. We've got one more game to decide who they're going to meet, of course, and that goes between Telford and Peterborough. But guys, we've had a great day so far here at Planet Ice Sky Dome in Coventry. I've been Gary Lee.
I've been Ben Lee.
I've been George Perry.
I've been Anthony Russell.
And we've been Drop the Puck.